Hey y'all, it's Aj, and I'm back with another review on Belle Collective Season 6, Episode 3, and I think it's entitled Down in the DMs. So, it's about to get messy when the title Down in the DMs. So, we open up the show with Latrice walking in Taste, basically just getting her employees together, greeting a few people in the restaurant, and then she tells, I don't know if it's the bar manager or what, that the hostesses at the front shouldn't be on the phone while customers are in there, and if they do, then they'll get written up. And I was like, look at Latrice trying to be a boss. Okay, sis. So she meeting up with a few of her friends, but we see her on FaceTime with Selena, and Selena is saying that she won't be able to make it. And I'm like, are you just now telling her you're not gonna be able to make it? So Selena, it's seeming like your communication is not that great either. While you going for Mike. But anyway, then we see Miss Marie Monroe walk up, and Marie has got the exact same outfit on that she had on when she met up with Martin, but in a different color. So I'm like, Marie, are you that person that you find the outfit that you think eats and then you get it in every color? Because this one was like the full body suit with like the chap boots or whatever, but the boots were glitter this time instead of camouflage, and the suit was kind of like a purplish blue, maybe color or whatever. So I was like, okay, Marie, it was cute the first time. Don't let us see you in the same outfit combo again in the season, sis. Because it was kind of giving me like, y'all ever seen that SpongeBob movie where he was doing a performance and then he got stuck up in the air? That's what it made me think of. So they get to the table, and Selena said the reason that she couldn't show up is because she had been at the hospital. The twin was in labor. I can't remember if it was Star or Sky giving birth. And so she was there, of course. That's her grandchild. So she had to be there to support her daughter. So then we see Amanda come in, and I'm like, Amanda really thinking she giving high fashion, because she got on like a black shirt with like the white lining or details, and it's got like a collar around it and buttons, but then it's got like another collar that's kind of like on her shoulder. So I'm like, oh, she thinks she giving couture. And so then Marie was like, I'm confused with Amanda's outfit because it's giving Beetlejuice. And baby, I hollered. I said, okay, Marina got her reads together this season, honey. So they talk about how happy Marie is looking, now that she done finally picked Cedric. And she is looking happy. And I was really happy to see that because, like I said previously, I think Marie seems like she is a good person. She seems to have a good heart, but it's still giving no for Cedric for me because I feel like he got a motive. Um, so basically, as soon as Amanda sit down, she like, well, I'm not really with you, Marie, as far as like what you and Letitia did to my friend Latrice. And so Marie like, what? And I'm like, Marie, you remember how y'all was on that girl, but she was also on y'all. So Amanda like, all is fair in love and war. Like your friend was not innocent either. Um, so basically, I think at this part was where Latrice was telling Amanda and Marie that, since Marie done linked back up with said that she was having a pool party, but it was couples only. So Amanda was saying that, she was gonna come and she was gonna bring someone. And they were asking Amanda, would she be open to ever dating a man again? And she said she's open. That's wise dating. And I guess that's fair or whatever. So we move on to the next scene, and we see Letitia switching to some kind of gym. I'm like, oh Lord, she is switching so hard. So she is meeting Carrie. Carrie organized like a workout session and invited Letitia, and she invited Marie. So all the ladies show up in like black and white. So I was like, okay, that's cute. And so Marie shows up and she like, y'all both got beat down, y'all got full faces of makeup. Y'all bitches didn't really come to work out. And so I'm one of them that feel the same. Like when I go to the gym, I may have on like lip gloss or lipstick, but as far as foundation and all that, I'm not doing it. But Marie, y'all on TV. That's what the girls do. But I did appreciate Marie coming in her natural, no makeup. So they do the workout, and it's kind of like a dance workout, which I personally myself I always enjoy because I like to dance. And I was like, look at them. They think they eating. Carrie was definitely giving the former cheerleader that she is. It was giving 5, 6, 7, 8. And I was like, okay, but it was cute. They looked good or whatever. Looked like they, broke a sweat. So anything to keep yourself moving. That was a good scene. And so when they get done with the workout, so Marie is like, well, what's been up with y'all? Since y'all want to be in my team, what's up with y'all? So then we see Carrie basically talk about how she is, I guess, having a hard time with work-life balance, and that she's not the doting wife and, to her husband. And Carrie did not tell any lies because I know Carrie. And that's not to say that she doesn't love her husband, but Carrie is always been a go-getter, do her own thing, and you can either fall in line or not. And so anyway, she talks about how she has a husband that they've been together since high school, met, and they show like old pictures, and I thought it was funny, because I have known Carrie my whole life. Um, so they show pictures, and she talks about how they have the 3 kids, the twins. I think the twins are 9 or 10. And then, like, not even a full year later, I think she had Joy, uh, the daughter after that. So basically, they like triplets. And yes, I thought she was super crazy because I was like, why did she have these 3 kids back to back? But I mean, hey, it worked out. And I know Carrie loves her kids. She loves her kids. But like she said, she definitely is not that doting woman. But she is about her business. So then we go to where we see Carrie at the Brick and Spoon, which is her business that she owns. And it's 3 of them, one in Gulfport, Biloxi, and now in Mobile. And I've been to 2 of them. I haven't been to the one in Mobile. That's the most recent one. But I actually, fun fact, used to work at the one in Biloxi when she kind of first opened it up. And I was the hostess at Brick and Spoon. So I thought it was cool seeing Brick and Spoon on there. So Carrie is getting her employees together. Hey, what's going on with the tickets? What's going on with the plating? Telling the hostess, hey, when wiping down menus or whatever, don't put the rag up here. And I used to hate when they used to tell me that because, like, girl, I just forgot. But I get it from the aesthetic point. So Matt pulls up and they talk about what's going on with the business, and basically we see a flashback of Matt telling Carrie, you got to do a better job of juggling. And Carrie is saying, I'm just trying to move forward. And he like, you are moving forward. You may be moving forward in your work, but you may be moving backwards in your marriage. And so, of course, that kind of like caught Carrie off guard. But I mean, I'm like, Selena, you gotta have communication. That's just how he is feeling about it. And so Matt is saying that he feels like he's still doing 70 to 80% here, which is meaning, I guess, at home. And I know them personally, so he definitely is a hands-on, involved dad. Carrie has a lot of help from her family, her parents. And that's not to say that she doesn't do for her kids, but when you have so many irons in the fire with work, something ultimately is getting put on the back burner, and that's what Matt is saying, that he feel like he is being put on the back burner. And like, Carrie, you better get it together, because Matt is a good man, Savannah child, and he was there before the fame. So, you know, yeah, it is so many hours in the day. She kind of got teary eyed and said it's only so many hours in a day, which is true. But, when you make it your purpose to have a husband and have a family and stuff, and be like this super successful person, you can't just leave your family behind. So it is so many hours in the day, but you gotta figure it out, Carrie. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. So I felt bad for her a little bit, because she was saying she feel deficient in some areas, like with her motherhood and being a wife, and and honestly, I was surprised that Matt called her out, but I wasn't surprised, because Matt is a very quiet person, but since I can remember knowing him, he is a very honest person. And Carrie can be super extroverted and over the top, and he can kind of say, like, need to rein it in a little bit. So then we move on to Mike and Selena meeting up with Glenn and Letitia to, I guess, get guidance or counseling on their relationship, which to me still is baffling me, because yes, Letitia has the gift of gab and she can talk and is well spoken, but baby, asking Letitia and Glenn to have good communication and a good relationship is like the blind leading the blind. Like, it's giving Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. So anyway, Letitia shows up first, and she went and got some materials for the exercises that they're doing. And I was like, okay, Letitia looks nice. She had on like a brown tracksuit set, and it looked really good on her. And so I was giving her props. She looked good. And then I got up to the wig, and I was like, oh Lord, okay, Letitia, it's giving slick helmet. But I guess I'll let you pass. So Selena and Mike show up to meet up with Letitia and Glenn and the communication coach, a guy named Tyrone. I forgot his last name, but Letitia says he's well known and is good at what he does, and so he is a professional, I'm assuming. So in the activity, they need to blindfold each other, and one partner is going to verbally instruct the other partner how to move like the ping pong ball down the table, so that it can land in like the red Solo cup that's hanging off of the end of the table, which I thought was a good activity. So when they get done with that activity, I guess Letitia is taking over this portion. So she tells um, Selena to face Mike, and Mike face Selena, and just be transparent and tell each other how they feel. And Selena says that, because she met Mike at such a vulnerable time in her life, she has such a big emotional attachment to Mike, And whenever he doesn't communicate or answer the phone, it's not always because she is trying to, I guess, control him. She is traumatized about like what happened with her son, and she just wants to know most of the time that he is safe. And so Mike really doesn't look like he cares until Selena starts crying, and then he kind of embraces her, and comforts her. So, you know, uh, so I thought that was, you know, good. It seemed like I guess they got something out of it. Uh, so then we get to the all white party, which well, not party, event that Selena put on to honor her son, Quincy Johnson, and he was unalived when he was like almost 30. And she said that he was packing and supposed to be coming back to like celebrate his birthday. So I don't know if he lived out of state or in a different city or what, but unfortunately he was unalive. And I always am sending my love, prayers, and condolences to Selena. I can't imagine losing your child, especially because she had him so young. As a person that I had a teen mom myself, when you have a mom that's young, it's like more than a mom and child relationship. A lot of times it's like this your best friend, because you kind of grow up together in a lot of ways. So um prayers for her and her healing journey. And so we get to the all white event. I thought it was set up really nice. It was white decor with like the drapery, and then it had like the gold accents. So I was like, okay, I may shade Selena with her choices and her decor at home, but I actually thought this event looked really nice. So she's telling us that she has a panel of people, um, people that just suffer from grief from losing different people, children, parents, I guess maybe spouses, just different types of grief. And she also has a psychologist on the panel, which I thought was super, super dope or whatever. So the girls started to file in, and we see Matt and Carrie come in, and I'm like, okay, Carrie giving 80s prom queen. She was giving Sanaya Lathan on Love and Basketball mixed with Gabrielle Union, Shawnee Easton. So I was like, okay, had the hair filled it up. So then we get to see all the rest of the girls in. Letitia comes in, another sickening suit. Loved it. Of course, the milk does make another appearance. I might as well get used to it. So the girls filing in or whatever, and I'm like, what in the world is on Tambra's shoulder? It's like she got on a white ensemble like dress or whatever, and then a like diagonal strap thing with like I guess it's supposed to be fur. It was giving me like it was a myriad of squirrels. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't giving the high fashion to me that Midday Diva thought it was giving. I'm also thinking in this scene too, she showed up stag again without Demond. At this point, Tambra, you can go. I mean, I really like you. You seem like a nice lady, but you're not sharing any of your personal life, and it's giving like friend of, So maybe Amanda is coming for your spot. Um, so the ladies started to talk about on the panel all of their forms of grief, how they've lost people. Selena reveals that she lost her birth mother, the mother that raised her, and then of course the big loss for her was her son. Then we see Latrice speaking about how she lost, I believe, two of her brothers, and that it was really hard for her because, you know, with a broken home as far as her mom leaving her dad due to his as Marie's mom could say, he was addicted to drugs. Shout out Scotty. Um, she said her brothers pretty much raised her. And one of the brothers was unalived in Jackson. And then the other brother, which she was really close to, she said she had like a dream, or it seems like almost a premonition that, you know, he was no longer gonna be here with us. And so she called him and he assured her, you know, like, no, sis, you know, I'm good. And that same day, uh, he was unalived. And that's just has got to be a heavy feeling like on her. Which I wonder is that why she looks kind of sad a lot, or I don't know. It's just something about Latrice that even though she tries to come off happy and bubbly and fun, it's something heavy about her. And I wonder if all of that loss is what it is. And so she talks about how Cliff is always thinking when she wants to know where his whereabouts and calls that it's because she thinking that he is being unfaithful, but a lot of times it's because she just is scared of somebody leaving her in her life again and not being here. So then we see his little thin hair cry. And so he in the confessional saying that he understands it more. Does that mean he gonna stop? Hell no. So I actually myself got teary-eyed in this scene, just seeing all of the people grieving. And I definitely agree with what Selena was saying as far as, you know, black people don't handle grief well all the time, with, you know, being taught that we have to be strong and not show emotions. And honestly, it may sound cliche, but I think a lot of that comes from like slavery and having to be, you know, having these horrendous things happen to you and you having to push through and not be emotional, and, you know, being seen as workhorses, and, you know, just not having a space to be emotional. And I feel like we have passed that down from generation to generation. And so I thought that this was wonderful. They did like white balloons and everybody wrote a message to like a past loved one on the balloon, and they released them. And Marie wrote a message to her, I think, grandmother. She said she missed her grandmother's funeral. Don't know what happened that she missed it. I had a great grandmother and I missed her funeral, and it still bothers me to this day. I was in school, it was on a weekday, and I just couldn't miss in my program the profession that I'm in. So I could definitely relate to Marie on that. And of course, we see Glendale say that he wrote his message to his grandma, which was kind of special because we saw like his relationship with his grandma on the show and how she got sick and passed. And so it was sweet. It was a really good event. I was proud of Selena. Kudos. So then we get to the piece de resistance, the pool party. So they finna get the ish started. So of course we see Latrice's fabulous home, even though it's a little too white for me. As you can see, a colorful person. Got on my little ET shirt, extraterrestrial. Shout out Marie ET from her last week's look with the space cadet look, space buns. So we see Latrice basically over the setup for the party, and you know they got food. I don't know if somebody cooked it or catered it, but the food looked great. So everybody is filing in and, you know, doing their pleasantries. Everybody look cute in their swimwear, and baby Selena is killing the girls when it comes to face and body. Now, the outfits may be questionable sometimes, but this swimsuit look, eight, eight. Everybody's swimsuits. I thought everybody's outfits, look cute or whatever. But when Matt showed up, I was like, why does Matt got a random cowboy hat on his head? But then I forgot he was bald, shaved. So I guess he was just, and he fair skinned, so I guess he was protecting his head. So they play this game or whatever. Letitia and Glenn show up late. Honestly, the sun went down. She said that Glenn had to work late. I'm like, why do y'all show up separate all the time or late to all this stuff? Like, anyway, they get there, and so they get the party started with this game where the couples have to answer questions and see about each other and to see who gets the most, I guess, accurate answers or same answers as the spouse. So it's like, seems like men on one side and women on another side. So one of the questions was where's the freakiest place that you have been intimate? And Marie says on the interstate, and so Cliff like, well, how fast was y'all going? And she like, oh, we was going the speed limit. So I'm like, oh Lord, not you and Sassy Sadie. And then oh my God, Carrie and Matt answered and said Carrie's parents' bed, and I absolutely died. Because I mean, as y'all know, I know Carrie, so I've known her parents my whole life, and I've been to their house quite a few times, and I'm like, oh, not they dead. I know Miss L is absolutely dying. Yes, so I guess the next time I go to Carrie's parents' house, I sit real careful because I don't know what they've been doing up in there. So of course Carrie in the confessional, she like, I'm absolutely mortified. She like, sorry, mom and dad. Yes, sorry, Miss L and Bob. So then the next question is, have you ever been attracted to somebody in the group? And I'm like, Latrice, you messy as hell, because then you come up with this game. You basically trying to out the tea that you know about Amanda and Glenn. So then they are like, what? Is somebody like, what kind of weird ass question is that? I don't know if it was Mike or whoever. And so Carrie, like, okay, on 1, 2, 3, we all just gonna say the answer together. So they 1, 2, 3, and everybody like, no, no. And so, Glenn like, no, hell no, whatever. So Amanda like, you're lying. And so they like lying. And so Letitia like, if it's something, then you need to talk to me because, we supposed to be cool. I consider us cool. You always uplift me or whatever. So Amanda like, I ain't really trying to talk about it in front of everybody else. So Letitia like, we can go out on the side. No, bitch, because you didn't have a damn problem with saying that shit in front of everybody. So if you gonna open up the can of worms, then hell, spill all of them bitches in front of everybody. You brought it up in front of everybody. You need to tell the tea in front of everybody. So Marie like, nah, we playing a game or whatever. So Mandy and Letitia go off to the side, and she like, what is going on? So then Mandy's weird ass like, well, I always have nothing but respect for you. A fucking lie, because you've been talking about her all season behind her back. But then when you see her, it's, hey, Tisha, you look cute. And, oh, I don't got nothing respect from you. You lying. You a snake and Latrice a snake. And I don't like this shit. So then Mandy like, well, I don't have nothing but respect for you, even though I don't like what you did to my friend. What do that got to do with the price of tea in China, honey? Like, so basically you actively pursuing or acknowledging Glenn's pursuit of you because of something that this woman did to your friend, and your friend also was doing wrongdoings to her. Like, this doesn't make any sense. So then once they start getting into Marie Monroe come out and she like, come on, Letitia, you need to get Glenn. He getting activated or whatever. So then they go back and we see, like they splitting back and forth with the scene. And so basically the girl that Amanda brought as her date is Marie's cousin. And so she like Glenn, the cousin like Glenn, like, don't cap, man. Like, I saw the DMs. And so he like, what? So he get up and I'm like, Glenn, why are you bucking on a woman? Yeah, she may be a stud, a lesbian, but at the end of the day, that's still a woman. And where was that same energy when like Willie was probably finna demolish you last season? So anyway, it kind of like ends there. And so then it just kind of zoom out from like the aerial view of the house, and all you can hear is just like everybody in there going ham. They arguing. So that's where it's gonna pick up next week. Well, I'm sure it's gonna pick up with something more light, but so I guess they're gonna continue it next week. So I thought this episode was really good. I'm glad we got to see more like Carrie's personal story, or y'all got to see more of Carrie's personal story. And I appreciate that she is coming authentic, because I know Carrie and I don't feel like it's anything that she has put on there these first few episodes that's not her. Carrie one of them people that you either hate the lover or you love the hater. Because she is a strong personality, but she is a genuine person. So I'm glad they getting into more of her story. I'm glad Marie is happy. I'm just not glad it's with Cedric. Um, Letitia and Glenn, I'm sick of y'all playing in our faces like, Letitia, on paper, you're a super accomplished and smart lady, but like your personal life tells me otherwise. So basically, we'll see where it goes, and I'm excited to see the rest of the season, the next episode. So thank you for tuning in. And of course, this was my review on Belle Collective Season 6, Episode 3. And it went down in them DMs, but let's bring the receipts. And so thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.